Hey, warning, this episode is gonna be bad. Here's 5 facts that you might not know about Shaun the Sheep. Look, Shaun the Sheep is really funny, and if you haven't gone to see the movie, then you should go see that movie because it is a riot that has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 1. Now you might be asking yourself, Kevin, who's Shaun the Sheep? If you're a dummy. Seriously, it's a really funny show. I highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it, then maybe you should get yourself an Amazon Prime account, and then you can watch all the seasons of Shaun the Sheep. Do you remember that movie Chicken Run a while back? Or maybe Flushed Away? Or maybe that show Wallace and Gromit, and then that movie Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit, which was also pretty funny? Well, if you liked all of those movies, then you will love Shaun the Sheep because they're made by the same people, Peter Lord and David Sproxton. What's that you say? You really liked Wallace and Gromit? Well, interestingly enough, Shaun the Sheep made his first appearance on the show Wallace and Gromit, specifically Christmas Eve 1995, in the episode A Close Shave. In the following 12 years, he would make several more appearances on the Wallace and Gromit show before he would eventually get his own series. That series started in 2007 and has seen 4 seasons since, and a full-length feature film. Number 2. If you haven't picked this up yet from all the things that I've said so far, Shaun the Sheep is stop-motion clay animation, or claymation, as many would say. What does that mean? Well, it means that all of the characters are made out of clay and other things, but the basis is the clay part. Okay, if you're not familiar, and I'm sure you are, but I'll explain it anyway. Basically, every scene that is in the movie has to be like created in clay, and then they take a picture, and then they move it a little bit, and then they take a picture, and then they move it a little bit, and then they take a picture, and then they move it a little bit, and then they take a picture, and then they move it a little bit. Basically, a typical film is 24 frames a second, and in Britain, with the PAL system, it is 25 frames a second, and since Shaun the Sheep is made there, I guess they have to do one more. So they have to take 25 pictures for every single second of the film. Now that is a whole lot of work. So how many of those individual frames are in the Shaun the Sheep movie? You might ask yourself, or to me, because you think I might know, and I do. There are 549,777 frames. And get this, on average, in an entire day of work, animators were able to get about 50 frames done. That's 2 seconds of the movie. What? 2 seconds? Now you might be asking yourself, because you ask yourself a lot of questions apparently, how in the world, with all of those frames, were they able to keep Shaun the Sheep's wool so perfect? The answer? Hairspray and PVA glue. They would spray a mist of a mixture of the stuff over the perfectly sculpted sheep, and then it would stay perfect for months and months and months. I imagine it smelled great too. Number 4, for the Shaun the Sheep movie, they used a total of 116 clay model sheep. Now I did try to fact check this, but I kept falling asleep. Number 5, the show Shaun the Sheep. Much like many animated classics like Tom and Jerry or Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, there is no dialogue, so much of the humor is physical and situational. Because of this, the appeal of the show has gone far beyond just the English-speaking world, including Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar. In fact, in those countries, they love little Shaun the Sheep so much that they have developed their own stage show called Sham El Sheep Shaun. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. Anyway, that stage performance plays regularly, and people love it even more than they love the pyramids. That's all for today. Thanks so much for watching. Seriously, Shaun the Sheep is a really funny show and a really funny movie, so if you haven't seen it, maybe go and check it out. I'm not being paid to, tell you to do that. I'm just thinking that I don't want you to miss out, and it has been critically acclaimed. Also, if you like funny stuff like that, or funny stuff like what you just saw here, probably more like, then subscribe. I would love it. Or you could check out my other channel, or you could do both. It's not either or sort of thing. Say Goodnight Kevin. I talk about other things, sometimes movies, sometimes not movies. That's all I gotta say. Until next time, I'm Kevin, and those are the facts.